Hi guys, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Oh my goodness, do I have a beautiful wreath for you today. We are going to use one roll of 21-inch Deco Mesh and do a folded ruffle method. Oh, I love it. It is so much fun. Plus, it's going to be brightened up by the sign, by the ribbon we're going to use. So much fun. If you want to be notified every time I post a wreath tutorial, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell. But for us, we're going to get started on this gorgeous fall wreath. Let's go over the supplies for this wreath. I'm going to start off with some 21-inch Deco Mesh that is 10 yards in length. For ribbon, I'm going to be using this absolutely gorgeous wired edge ribbon. It is 2.5 inches in width and 10 yards in length. To match my beautiful leaf ribbon, I found this sign at the Dollar Tree, and since it does have a little bit of glam going on with the give and the thanks and all the sparkle on the leaves, I decided to make this wreath a little bit on the fun side. So I am going to add some iridescent white mesh tubing, which is going to brighten things up and kind of unite it with my sign that has lots of white. And then of course I have some of this orange mesh tubing. Both of these are from the Dollar Tree. As far as our pipe cleaners, you are going to need 18 for a wreath form and however many you're going to need for your sign if you're using a sign. I'm going to attach my sign using pipe cleaners and some scrap felt. And then of course I am going to be using a 14-inch metal wreath form. As for the instrumentation that I'm going to be using, I'll need a hot glue gun, scissors, rotary cutter, and some kind of clippers or pliers. I have had a lot of people ask me about these little clippers that I use. I always have them in the description box below and also in my Amazon store that is linked in the description box below. Now it's time to attach our pipe cleaners. Our wreath base is made up of 6 sections, and we're going to attach the pipe cleaners a little differently this time. What we're going to do is we're going to have an attachment on an intersection, 2 in the center, 1 in the intersection, 2 in the center, 1 in the intersection, 2 in the center, going all the way around. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can attach on row 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. That's going to make it a little bit smaller, but if you have a larger centerpiece, then I recommend attaching on rows 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Basically, you want to have a zigzag going, whether it's row 1 and 2, 2 and 3, or 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. You can also do 3 rows where you're using 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. As you can see, my sign is a little bit on the smaller side, and that is why I decided to use rows 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. I'm going to start on an intersection and just bring it together and 2 twists, and I'm going to fold it in. Then I'm going to do rows 2 and 3, and then 1 and 2. And as you can see, all the ones on row 2 and 3 I'm facing out, and on rows 1 and 2 I'm facing in. This is just for us to be able to find the pipe cleaners a little quicker, and it just helps us along. I'm done attaching all my pipe cleaners. 9 on row 1 and 2 facing in, 9 on rows 2 and 3 facing out. I'm going to put my cutting board going from top to bottom because it's only 18 inches this way, and here it's 24 inches from top to bottom. I'm going to be cutting my 21-inch roll Deco Mesh into 20-inch strips, and I'm going to need 18 of these. Before I start cutting, I like to put a little ruler to add the measurements that I need. I have 18 and a half, so 19 and a half and 20 would give me 1.5 inches. So you can definitely eye this, and I usually do, but it's a good thing to have a little visual where you can start. Let's even this out first, and let's get going. After I cut these, roll them up naturally and throw them in a laundry basket. That's the best way to keep them while you're cutting them up. Now let's make our folded ruffles. When I mention factory edge, what I mean is the side edge that has a few rows of the actual mesh, one on top of each other, just like that. And then when I'm talking about the cut edge, that's the edge where we cut the little strips. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our piece of Deco Mesh and we're going to put it together, factory edge to factory edge or side to side. After I have my factory edges one on top of the other, I'm going to put the whole Deco Mesh piece vertically from top to bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it kind of when we're doing ruffles and we want to just make sure that edge is tucked in. That's exactly what we're doing here. And it should not be hard because naturally it should want to curl in. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to curl it in about an inch. I'm going to put something on the heavier side on top. And here we're just going to bring it together like a ruffle. When I get to the edge, same thing, you want to tuck it in and then ruffle it up. And here is our first folded ruffle. Because this is a folded ruffle, one side is going to be smooth where it was folded and the other side is going to be open with the factory edges. So what I like to do is I like to do every other, meaning on the next one, I'm going to have the smooth side facing in and that I'm going to attach on all the inside rows and then all the outside rows are going to have the smooth edge. I like doing that because when your wreath is hanging, when you're storing it away, you want that smooth end to be on the outside to prevent fraying. Let's do the next one. First things first, we're going to open it up and we're going to take it factory edge to factory edge. Now that I have that, I'm going to put it vertically, put scissors or something on top, make sure it's lined up nicely. And the edge, I'm going to fold in about an inch. Now it's time to start bringing it together, keeping my eye out on this outside row where the factory edges are. When I come to the end, of course, I want to make sure that this side is also tucked in an inch from the edges. If your edges are not even and stuck like this, just pull it out while you're holding it all together. And now I'm going to turn my factory edge towards the outside and attach that to the inner row, meaning the pipe cleaner that's on rows 1 and 2. And we're going to give it 2 tight twists. This next part you can either do later or right now. I'm only going to be attaching my bundles to the outside row. So this inside row, I'm going to just twist my pipe cleaner, use my little wire cutters to cut the excess and about an inch in. I'm just going to twist and hide that. Let's make one more together, but you guys are getting the point. Overlap the factory edges, put them vertically, fold it an inch, and off I go collecting in the center. Factory edge towards the inside because our next one is on row 2 and 3. And while it looks sparse now, it's going to start filling in really beautifully. And then we're going to add the ribbon. Oh, this is going to be such a pretty wreath. I'm done putting on all the folded ruffle. Look how beautiful and full this wreath is. I absolutely love it. As far as our ribbon, we are going to keep it nice and simple, cutting it into 12-inch strips. There's my 12 inches. And now I'm going to zigzag until I get 18 strips. Now it's time to cut the ribbon and make dovetails at the same time. I'm going to fold each of the sides and I'm going to cut off a little corner just like this, making sure I cut off the edge on here so that we have 2 pieces. Now that my ribbon is all cut up, look how beautiful these are. We can get started on our mesh tubing. I feel like mesh tubing, especially fun mesh tubing like this, brings a little bit of a whimsical look to a wreath. So you can definitely put as many pieces as you want. This is 15 feet of mesh tubing, so it's going to be enough to have 18 pieces at 10 inches each. I'm just going to do 9 pieces, and I feel like 1 per bundle is going to be enough. So I decided to do 9 pieces of each of the mesh tubing. Measuring off my 10 inches, off I go. Let's cut through the center. And the same thing with the white mesh tubing. Let's measure off 10 inches. Now let's make our ribbon bundles. I'm going to grab 2 pieces of ribbon, overlay them, and find the center just by pinching the corner. Now that I know where my center is, grab 1 of each, the orange and the white mesh tubing, and I'm just going to gather everything together and attach it to the pipe cleaner. After it's attached, I'm just going to twist the pipe cleaner, fold it back. If you want to cut the excess, definitely do that. And then you can just fold the tip and fold it back. Once again, grab 2 pieces of ribbon, fold in half, find the center, 1 of each, and attach it to the next pipe cleaner. I'm going to do this, of course, to all the pipe cleaners. Clip any excess off, fold and fold back. All the ribbon bundles are on. I did not open them. We're going to do that at the very end. Next, we're going to take care of our sign. I'm going to be using 3 pipe cleaners and attach them at the top and the sides. So all I'm doing here is folding them in half and making a little flat surface in the middle, just like this. I'm just going to kind of pinch it. Now for some felt scraps, I have them in little rectangles, about 1 inch by 2 inches. It's all up to you. First, I'm going to put some hot glue right where I want that to be. By the way, this is regular hot glue. It's just white tinted. I'm trying to use up all my colorful ones. And now I'm going to just make rows going up and down, and then our piece of felt right over that. And that's just going to melt everything in, and it's going to give you a really good connection. Our sign is ready to get attached. So I'm just going to lay it right in the center, and let's flip. This is how poofy this wreath is. I can hardly get my pipe cleaner to attach. Few twists here. So I lightly twisted the sign on. Now let's see how I like it. I'm going to try to get it down just a little bit by getting some of this Deco Mesh from underneath it, because I don't want it to pull too much on the pipe cleaners. I feel like I lowered it a little bit. To hang the wreath, I'm going to first find where my top is. Then I'm going to grab this piece of jute cord that came off that leaf sign, and all I'm going to do is wrap it around any of the intersections and just make a few ties. Cut off the excess, send this to the back, and you have a hanging loop. Now I'm going to open up all my ribbon bundles, making sure my mesh tubing is sticking out beautifully. Look at this. How fun is this wreath? And I love the mesh tubing. It just gives it such a fun little element. And as you can see, just having the ribbon bundles on the outside row is more than enough. And the wreath is all done. Look at the ribbon all opened up. Now everything just looks so lovely. It works together. It's quite a thick wreath, as you can see on the side, but I think this beautiful ribbon and the sign, everything worked together lovely. I don't know about you guys, but I love fall. Let me know in the comments below which season is your favorite and what do you like most about fall. I love the fact that I can wear cozy sweaters, and we usually get the fire pit going and have some cocoa or something, and it's just so beautiful. The cooler nights make it so just, I don't know, so cozy, so lovely with the family. So that is why I love fall. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this wreath tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And of course, we have prepared 2 videos for you guys to choose from if you would like to see more wreath tutorials. With that being said, thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you in our next video. Right, Louie? Bye, guys. Mwah!